Mega backdoor Roth is something that applies only to 401ks and 403bs. So you hear backdoor Roth, that's an IRA thing. You hear Roth, that could be kind of any kind of retirement thing. So first thing to know is you have to have a 401k or a 403b for this to apply, which most physicians do.
Welcome to the Physician Family Financial Advisors podcast, where physician moms and dads like you can turn today's worries about taxes and investing into all the money you need for retirement and college.
Hello, physician moms and dads. I'm Nate Reineke, certified financial planner and primary advisor here at Physician Family Financial Advisors.
And I'm Ben Utley, certified financial planner and service team leader here.
Okay, Ben, before we get to client questions, I had a question for you.
Okay.
I noticed when I talk to new clients that they kind of feel like they're alone on an island. So I thought I would ask you, you do all the interviews for our prospective clients, right? So
That's correct, yeah.
what kind of things are you hearing from them lately? Like, what are they dealing with?
I can tell you what I'm not hearing from anymore is people who want to invest in real estate.
Yeah.
I think the bottom has dropped out of that with interest rates, having gone up. So that's a relief. So we've, the idiocy factor that things bouncing around in the webosphere has finally toned down. Well, I guess we're getting past the season where young docs are, beginning to enter their practice. Surprisingly, I'm not hearing a lot about people wanting to buy homes, but I am hearing about retirement, getting on track, kind of feeling like they're a little bit behind. And I'm hearing about college, like they want to plan for college. What I find interesting, though, is I've been attending some of the planning meetings as well. And I find that parents are still shocked at the sticker price of college. But I think that's basically what I've been hearing about. It's mostly kind of garden variety retirement in college and not so much. You know what? I have heard repeatedly lately the words VTSAX. So people are coming in and they've heard somewhere on the internet that they should own the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index, and the subtext of that is that's all they should own, right? And so I've had a little discussion with them about those strategies. Given that the top 7 stocks of the S&P 500, which is a subcomponent of the total stock market index, given that the top 7 stocks are all technology stocks, Facebook, Netflix, Amazon, Google, you name it. If something happens with technology, those folks that are just all in with S&P 500 or all in with Vanguard Total Stock Market Index, they're going to be in for a big surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that too, kind of like that it will solve all your problems. But,
Yes.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I wasn't expecting that. But as far as the getting on track, I think the takeaway for some listeners is if you feel like you're off track, most physicians feel that way. So it's not just you, but yeah. So I thought it'd be nice to hear from the crowd, or let the crowd hear what the crowd is saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we are back with 5 questions today. Are you ready for the first one?
Yeah, fire away.
Okay, we have an ENT in Pennsylvania. They said, I've heard about a mega backdoor Roth and how it might be a good savings tool for me, but I don't really understand it. Can you explain it to me?
Well, first, hello, otolaryngologist from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah, so mega backdoor Roth is something that applies only to 401ks and 403bs. So you hear backdoor Roth, that's an IRA thing. You hear Roth, that could be kind of any kind of retirement thing. So first thing to know is you have to have a 401k or a 403b for this to apply, which most physicians do. Second thing is it's a strategy that allows you to contribute after-tax dollars, a large amount, in fact, that can be characterized as after-tax contribution, and then through a Roth conversion can be converted into a Roth. Like a Roth 401k or Roth 403b. The benefit of this is you get more in for retirement, and you get all the good things that go with Roth, which is what I like to call tax-free forever growth and no taxes on withdrawals, right? Okay, so Now, what I find interesting about this is ENTs typically are more highly compensated specialists. All right. So they typically always max out their 401k or they max out their 403b. Okay. Also interesting, the vast majority of 401ks and 403bs do not allow for
Right.
after tax contributions, which were required for mega backdoor Roth. Okay.
Mhm.
So the mega backdoor Roth typically applies to a person who is A, self employed, so that they can set the terms of their own solo 401k, and B, earning less than enough to make the maximum contribution, which I believe is like 69.5 for this year.
Right.
Okay. And so let's say a person earns an amount that's less than that, such that they can only put in maybe a grand total of $50,000. That next $19,500, they can still contribute. They just can't deduct it from their taxes. It goes in as an after-tax contribution and can be recharacterized as Roth. So again, this is for folks that are basically self-employed, who are getting lower compensation, which may be somebody who has a sideline or a side hustle or a gig on top of any other compensation that they're getting, W-2 or whatever. Integrating them is a little tricky, but that's essentially it. So I wouldn't think this would be a great fit for the average ENT unless they have side work.
Okay. Yeah, I have a bit of a different experience. I guess here's the thing. The
Nate,
big
next time just tell me what you want me to say.
Oh yeah. It, we don't talk about these beforehand.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes it seems like we do. Um I've seen it but kind of spread out. I've
Yeah.
seen physicians at Kaiser have it. I've seen it kind of all over.
Mm-hmm.
Um the question is like, is this good for me?
Mm-hmm.
Of course. I mean, it's probably pretty good for you if you can pull it off, but that's not really the caveat. The caveat is, do you have it? And most people just don't have it. They don't
Yeah,
have the
correct.
option, right?
Yeah.
But simply put, kind of what you said, it's just a big fat Roth IRA if you have it.
Yeah.
So if you're but something that's interesting is people will hear this and then they will go contribute to the Roth portion of their 401k right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
With all of their 401k money, then
Mm-hmm.
that would be a mistake. So you want to do the pre-tax as high as you can, and then the rest can go into Roth if it's available.
Nate, the body informed term now is no longer big fat. It's mega.
Oh, mega. Okay. So yes, good tool if you have it. All right, next question. Cardiologist from Oregon. Can I participate in a health FSA, flexible spending account, and an HSA in the same year?
Oh, wait. I want you to answer this question, but I have something that our audience must have.
Okay.
Okay. So an HSA and an FSA are two totally different things. And I'm sure you're going to get into that. Okay.
Yeah.
But people confuse them easily. And one is okay. The other one is great. The HSA is great. The FSA, not so great or not as great. And here's how you remember which one's not great. Doctors don't want to earn an F, right? You never got an F in your life. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't become a physician. F in FSA is for fail. And if you fail to spend it, you lose it. That's how I remember them. Okay,
That's
now
a good
your
way
turn.
to remember it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So FSA and HSA in the same year. Can I split contributions between the two in the same tax year? So the answer is no. And that's the more the way I was thinking of this is, why would you want to?
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's the real answer, I think. Why would you want to? Because HSA are, they're the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
Right. So no, you can't. But I think your takeaway is the better answer, because you can confuse them. So don't choose the FSA, choose the HSA, and put as much as you can in.
Rock
Simple
on.
as that. All right. Double doctor family in Illinois. This is a new family who just started serving. So it was funny because they said, all right, Nate, it's honesty time. I was like, oh, what are we talking here?
I'm sorry. All I get is Billy Joel. It's just honesty. Yeah, that's dating me. I'm an 80s guy, but go ahead.
Yeah. So they said, I feel like we know what to do with our finances, but generally we choose to live it up now versus preparing for college or retirement. What do we do to make sure we're on track? I would have really appreciated them saying this, but I don't hear it very often. I think people kind of hide it if they do.
I tell you what, I tell them, quit it.
Yeah, quit it. Yeah, so what do you think,
No,
Ben?
let's get the more financially informed answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, what do you think?
I don't know.
What
You're your
should they do?
client. You answer the question.
Well, it's a little self-serving, I guess, but I have a way we can combat that. So, with any big goal in life, if you really want to accomplish it and you're having trouble doing it on your own, having some outside accountability always tends to work. I mean, I did this with my fitness. And
Yeah.
I know what to do. But the fact that I have to call my trainer every once in a while and check in has really helped. I mean, it's and not to mention the knowledge that he has, but beyond that, just the fact that I'm going to call him and I'm going to check in with him, and that tends to keep me on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
So,
and that only works if you don't lie, right?
Exactly. Which, by the way, I've been guilty of bending the truth on some weekend bad days.
You can't lie to your trainer.
He's like, the scale says otherwise.
Yeah.
So, but I thought this was interesting because some people listening to this, they do want to do this on their own.
Yeah.
We're financial advisors, so we don't have our own financial advisors. So
we have each other, Nate.
We do have each other. But who do you use? Everyone needs a little outside accountability.
For financial accountability, I just use the fear of poverty mostly.
Okay.
No, actually, in the past, I haven't had an accountability person for finances. I mean, personally, my accountability is my plan, because like our clients, I have a plan, same software, same investments, so that is my personal accountability. But I built the plan, we put together the software, I have faith in it, and I guess if I didn't do that, then I would feel like some kind of fraud, because I'd be asking my clients. I think it's like a leadership thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in finances, it's that way. Now, if it's like eating or exercising or anything else, then I struggle like the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do similar, but the way that I get through it, because sometimes, you can outsmart your own plan and try to outthink it. So what I do is I tell my wife our plan, and then she's like, "Wait a minute," she's at a probably like an elementary level understanding of the plan, and she's like, "Wait, that's not the plan." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to outsmart it, aren't I?" She's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So let me just go back to the plan.
Yeah.
So yeah, outside accountability is what I would do if I were them, and they're getting it. So
yeah. Now, this is like an anti-infomercial. Okay. So, obviously we're financial advisors. Obviously we can function as an accountability partner if someone bestows upon us that role and they're serious about it, right? We can hold their feet to the fire. But by the same token, it doesn't have to be us. Like if there's someone who really cares about you and they're financially informed, you could run your plan by them and ask them to be an accountability partner. It could be a parent, though that gets a little weird. It could be a clergy member, though they might ask for bigger donations. It could be your spouse, though you could be partners in crime. It could be a close friend, though they might ask you to buy the beers next time. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's hard to beat a professional accountability partner. But I wouldn't expect an accountability partner to be a parent, right? Yeah. It's an adult relationship. Yeah.
Okay. Next question from an orthopedic surgeon in Wisconsin. They asked, "What should I be thinking about when it comes to our finances as we approach the end of the year?"
Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple obvious ones, I guess. They're not all that exciting, but filling up your plans at work, right? Your ESRP, 401ks, things like that. And the big one here is we still got a couple months, right, until the end of the year. And I see a lot of times people will check in with me about this like on December 10th. And it's tough if they're behind to catch up, because they might only have one paycheck, and sometimes it takes a while for those changes that you make to go through. So now would be a great time to see if you're on track to filling those up. You can look at your IRAs and HSAs. You technically have until you file your taxes on those, but who wants to be playing catch up in January and February?
Yeah, I like to fund those during the year that the contribution is for, because if you make the 2024 contribution in 25, there's a chance it'll be mischaracterized as 25, in which case you miss your 24 opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's just better to do that during the calendar year. And I mean, physicians, right? You should have an extra $7,000 just laying around. So yeah, get that done unless you're procrastinating. I think that really this is not really the right question to be asking. The question is, how do I stay on track throughout the year? I mean, if you're waiting until the end of the year to do something, either you lacked a plan, or perhaps you lacked the cash flow, or just something got missed, right? Just like you failed to do something, or perhaps maybe just got employed like immediately ago. I could see that being the case. But all these things that you can do right at the end of the year, you can do those all year long. You could make your charitable contribution in January if you want, right?
Yeah.
So you can do Roth conversions in January, which actually don't have a year date. You can make HSA contributions, IRA, 401k contributions, 529s, all these things that have limitations and deadlines. And if you do it earlier in the year, you get to relax. You don't have to worry about if it's April 1st or April 15th is the cutoff, and then you don't have to double contribute because you did it in the later tax year. I mean, this is easy peasy stuff. You just need a plan to get it done, maybe an accountability partner, and jump on it.
Yeah,
right?
I'm glad you said the word relax, because you know what I find is I don't get this question that often. I got it yesterday, but I don't get it that often, mainly because most people totally are on track. These people were as well, by the way. They're just wondering.
Well, I don't know how it is for your family, but when I had kids in the house, the last 2 months of the year were bedlam, right? You got Thanksgiving, you got family and friends that are coming over, you're cleaning your house, or you're buying plane tickets, you're going someplace else. Holiday time of the year, Christmas, Hanukkah, all that good stuff. Again, you might be traveling, you might have a bunch of people over, you might be out of pocket. It'd be better to be spending that time with your family than trying to figure out how to get money into your 401k or IRA. I mean, there are better things to do in the last 2 months of the year.
Totally agree. And in fact, they are, at least the families that I speak with most often during this time of year, we don't really talk about this as much. We do a check, they're on track. And then you know what they do? They tend to get really reflective on their goals.
Oh, that's a good time to do it. Absolutely.
It's a great time to do it because you're not in the hustle bustle of summer. And I notice in my family, in summer, you're hanging out with a lot of people, you're comparing yourself to a lot of people. Tends to be when people go out and buy a new car. There's all these things going on that are
I like the comparing yourself to other people because you're in a swimsuit, right?
Yeah, right. It's just the time of year, it seems like. And then
I don't know about you. I'm in my 50s. Beachbody I'm left that behind. I'm fully rocking the dad bod now.
Nice. Yeah. So I think this is a great time to just reflect on goals because you're thinking about family. It's like you said, it's the holidays and it's like, what's really important to us? And I see people's goals transform very often at the end of the year. Yeah. And I try to take that and run with it and remind them, like, we made this plan because remember that time you were thinking about how much you wanted to spend time with your kids?
That's right.
So I think this is a great time to think about that.
So this is one of the benefits of having a plan that I never thought about. It actually gives you time. It gives you time to think. It gives you time to feel into things. And it gives you time to be present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Exactly.
5.
All right. Last question. Critical care physician in Minnesota. Should we be changing our investment strategy as we are about 10 years from retirement?
No.
Whoa.
No, because your strategy should contemplate being close to retirement. Right?
Say that again?
Your strategy should already contemplate the fact that you're approaching retirement. Okay, and that is your segue into TDRFs.
Yeah, target date investment strategies.
Yes.
Right. I mean, a lot of your money, if you're saving to a 401k and is going to be straight into a target date investment strategy. Now, there's other accounts you rebalance, right? That if you're not choosing a target date fund exactly. Yeah. But the answer is no, because your strategy isn't your asset allocation.
That's correct.
Right? That's not your strategy. Your strategy is to reduce risk over time.
And your strategy is not your investment, right? You can have a target date investment strategy and you can use a target date fund to complement it. But if you got a big fat taxable account, you don't want target date funds in there. They don't belong in taxable accounts. Target date funds don't belong in taxable accounts. They just don't belong there. The taxes are all messed up. But you can use a target date strategy where your strategy becomes more conservative over time as applied to a retirement account. Now, it's funny because we'll go full circle. You said, what are you hearing about? I'm hearing about VTSAX. So somebody out there is sailing into retirement with a fistful of VTSAX, right? There's this little thing called sequence of return risks that can really screw up a strategy like that. I'm not going to go into it today. But, if you're all in stocks and you're somewhere less than 10 years from retirement, you really need to rethink your asset allocation and probably get yourself some more conservative things like bonds. Look up bond tent investing on the web, and you'll see what I mean.
Yeah, I'm going to hold back on some thoughts on that too.
Yeah, that's right. We're probably running out of time and soapbox, right?
But I did want to take this opportunity to talk about this because it's interesting. Didn't come through in the question, so I'm expanding a little bit. But in this situation, this family's plan says they're going to retire in 15 years. And they said to me, we might retire in 10. Okay. And I get this a lot, mostly from younger physicians who are like, we're shooting for the moon, but we might retire here or there.
Right.
It's kind of understandable, not a huge deal, but as you get closer and you're looking at this target date investment strategy, the asset allocation from 15 to 10 years is different. It's finally starting to shift pretty dramatically. Yeah. And I would just say that for families who want to retire at 10 years versus 15, or they're trying to decide, get serious about these goals. Like, set your real goal so that your asset allocation, your savings rate, your attitude, everything you're setting up for retirement is real. It's not 5-10 years apart.
Maybe. It's not the maybe. I mean, and if you don't know if it's 5 or 10, pick 7, right? Just have something finite, right? Because good goals are specific, right? That's the essence. Smart goals should be specific. Like on, March 27th, which is my 65th birthday of the year such and so, I intend to wave at the guy who made my life a living hell at work and go fishing the next day, right? So.
Exactly. Yeah. Get real about it so that you can get on track.
Yeah, you have to believe this. It's having a goal to a certain extent is an act of faith. Yeah.
Yep. All right, that's it for today.
Awesome. So, as Nate said, we are financial advisors. We do love serving physicians with kids. We're open for business. We're taking new clients. So if you'd like to chat with us, visit physicianfamily.com and click that big Get Started button. If you're not ready for that, maybe send us a question to podcast@physicianfamily.com. And until next time, remember, you're not just making a living, you're making a life.
Thank you for listening to the Physician Family Financial Advisors podcast. Are you getting all the tax breaks you really deserve? To find out, get your copy of the Overtaxed Doctor's Retirement Investing Checklist, available at physicianfamily.com/go. This show is for educational purposes only and is not personalized advice. Consult your tax advisor before taking action. All investments involve risk of loss. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. Read show notes for full disclosure.